Certainly, you could, I imagine, sympathize. I know I can to some degree, having been born into the UPC UNA or the UPC USA, I should say, and then in '83, when I was 3, becoming the PCUSA as it's known now, as it merged with the PCUS, or what's often called the Southern Presbyterian Church. My parents' church. My parents are now in the OPC because they have left and they've joined with the OP congregation several years ago. But the church where I grew up left the PCUSA for the EPC, which you mentioned that you've had that experience in your family as well. And there's always this desire, or there's always a voice, and it's a good voice, but a voice of people saying, well, let's try to stay and influence the church for the better. And there are conservative voices who seek to band together and try to prevent the church from moving in a liberal direction. The same was true when the OPC was formed in 1936, breaking off from the Presbyterian Church USA to form a new denomination. And certainly that voice was present in the 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s. It's been there for many, many years. So we could sympathize with different people. And also, I imagine with Gerstner's desire to remain for so long in what is considered a mainline church after it had merged several times, to fight for the truth and to prevent the church from moving in a liberal direction. But at some point, it just becomes a lost cause. And where that line is, and where the right time to leave is really a hard question and a matter of conscience, and a lot of prayer needs to go into that.
Yeah, and I think everything you said is accurate, and I agree with it. But what I try to show in the book is that even though Gerstner's marginalized, even though he loses one ecclesiastical battle after the next, these contribute to kind of a growing concern,
Sure.
and kind of a growing what I call Presbyterian and Reformed evangelicalism. Mm-hmm. So, you in the 70s you get the start of the Ascension Presbyterian Western Pennsylvania, which is a PCA presbytery. R.C. Sproul leaves the mainline church and helps. Gets involved in that movement. You get, they're upset with what's going on at Pittsburgh Seminary. They're losing, all these battles. So they start Ligonier Valley Study Center, which becomes Ligonier Ministries. You get, people upset with the Wynn Kenyon decision, and that, gets people into the PCA. And then you have the Mansfield-Casemon decision in the late 70s, early 80s, and that leads to the founding of the EPC. And so, even though Gerstner lost a lot of these battles, there are many people that are agreeing with him. And the positive side of losing these battles is that it creates this, I think, kind of conservative Presbyterian momentum,
right,
to found new institutions,
kind of galvanizes
new
them,
denominations, new organizations, and so I think we need to remember that as we think of all these losses, that positive things are coming out of some of these losses. It's not wholly negative. And oftentimes, if you look at the OPC, or if you look at, Machen, you think OPC is so small, but it's had a tremendous influence. Think about, Gerstner going to Westminster Seminary as a UPCNA person and taking that message back into the UPCNA and the UPC. I mean, it just, I think that the movement that Machen started really, it has grown and has strengthened, and the PCUSA is in decline.
Yeah.
But I will say that one of the things going on in the PCUSA right now, and I know many of the renewal leaders and was involved in the renewal movements, is that there's a lot of discussion, about Machen right now. And I've, even talked to PCUSA officials saying, you really need to rethink, Machen, and many of them have said to me, very prominent ones said to me recently that, Machen, he really disagreed with Machen's style and his attitude about things, but his arguments really have been in many ways proven right. And
Mhm.
it's hard to, I think, to see it any other
Hmm.
way.
Right.